Namaste. Ashe, beautiful souls. This is Loved Winds. I am still here at what I call chaos on Cold Water Road. My family home, which I'm grateful to be at. I am. Because my soul gave me the most perfect scenario to trigger the fuck out of me so I can remember who I am. And my soul was intelligent enough to create a safe enough space for me to navigate through the chaos into the creation. Like I cracked my own keys, right? We all have our own keys, and no one can crack them but us. This transmission, this channeling, has been attempted to be hijacked so much today. And as soon as I started to press record, there's hammering and stuff happening. It's like sticky hot, but it's like I don't want to turn the air conditioner on because like I manifested the hot, but I have to go through now the uncomfortable phase of being so cold for so long and adjusting to the hot without doing what humans are programmed to do, right? Turn on the AC. Can I just ask why we turn on the AC all summer to turn on the heat all winter? Like, what is wrong with us, right? So yeah, I'm just trying to like decondition those things, and the windows open is beautiful. It's beautiful, and I'm trying to be outside as much as possible. Honestly, as much as possible. The birds are chirping. If the Matrix is like the traffic on the wet roads, it's a constant distraction from the beautiful birds, all of the beautiful birds that are chirping. And I have the shaman music playing because it buffers the chaos, right? So, but like, you find your light in the dark spaces. I chose the dark spaces. I'm comfortable in the dark spaces. So let's go to those dark places. And that's where we bring the light, in those dark places. In the dark places, we find our lights and we shine our lights. And it's like a snowball effect. And that is the ascension process, the awakening process, simplified, but deepening. It's a whole lot deeper than that, right? But like, I was watching something that gave me a thought that sent me onto a download and brought me to this camera. And I was watching someone say, like, a billionaire is in love with you. And I laughed, and the thought was, I've had a ton of billionaires in love with me. More than 10, less than 20 years in the industry. And I say the numbers because as you become more present, the more present you become, the less the numbers matter. So like you stop counting, you stop caring. It's just, it's nothing. It's irrelevant. You're here, you're now, right? So when someone asks you to like remember, and this tangent is important for somebody's experiencing this. If someone asks you like, how long has it been, or how old are you, or what time is it, or like anything that has to do with the numbers, You have to stop and think about it. Because, like, you're just here. You're just existing. It's peace. But the thought that I had... Oh, the noise. Oh, hold on. Let's do halfway. Find balance. My sticker says find balance. And that was in the home. That was my sister's sticker. And it was left, and I inherited the find balance sticker. Where was I going? The thoughts, after all of the, I've had every single tax bracket from I need you to pay for me, broke, to billions. Because I was exposed. My exposure, was there. So, it's a numbers game. Anyways, and my energy. Like, I got dope energy. But so do you, because you're resonating with me and watching me. And as you fill your cup, you can't help but shine. Because love wins. Okay? So, my thoughts. I'm really dehydrated today because I have been under super, I have messages that need to come out that the entities that have been not wanting these messages to come out, low vibrational energies, spiritual warfare, they're working through anyone and anything in lower vibrational energy, and the heat is on. But they don't know that, I hang out in hell. So, bring it, because I am a transmuter. And, deepening. It says, once you're on Earth for enough lifetimes, your old soul will begin to long for non-grasping detachment and surrender. They bring the peace of God. So this card has some stories. So I was listening to some other readers, and I was pulling my own cards and having my own downloads, and that led us here. But there's also a story. This cat... Oh, so first, let's go back to the thing. So, the whole money thing. My thought was, I just want to, plant coconuts. I am taking on the 250 coconut mission to plant 250 coconuts in my lifetime. And, because after awakening, it's land, food, and skills. And what is it that I desire most? If you know me, I just want to lay under the coconut tree in a hammock, look at the ocean, watch the sun rays, watch the sunsets, and drink coconuts from the coconut trees. And the rest, where is it? The rest, divine flow. I'm a creator. I create. I'm a natural mother. My name, oh my God, I learned this along my path. You have to pay attention. There's a feather. Literally a feather floating around my window. Beautiful, thank you. I love you. Literally, where was I going? Divine flow, divine flow. Wow. Deepening. 250 coconuts, trees, where I want to be. I'm a creator. It's all about vibration. It's all about vibration. And my name, you have to pay attention to words, right? Words are spelling. And the etymology of words tells the story, tells the truth. The truth, right? It's hidden in plain sight, but you have to have the eyes to see. So when you have those eyes to see and you start to see, you become a researcher. It's It's natural. It's a natural process. Okay? Like, you become curious. You ask questions. And that's a great place to be. That's where you want to be. When you first find out that you've been lied to, there's like, everyone has to go through their emotions. And whatever you're repressing, you're going to feel. So if it's anger, if it's betrayal, if it's, it hurts, but you're going to have to feel it. You're going to have to feel it because you have to face it. You have to face it, right? So, it doesn't have to hurt. It doesn't have to be hard. The truth hurts, but it heals. Okay, it hurts, but it heals. I know this because I am on the other side of the healing process. And although I still have new layers, new levels, new devils, there's always something to heal because I'm here. If I have completely healed it all, I would have ascended. So I am here. Right now. Right now. Okay. Stay in the present and don't get too far ahead of the flow. You'll soon trust that nothing more will come than can be handled each moment. Everything else soon come, okay, like they say in Jamaica. You'll soon trust that nothing more will come than can be handled each moment, right? Right now, stay in divine flow, okay? Journey within, okay? That's where you need to go. So words, etymology, my name, Candace, that's my name, if you didn't know. My birth name. Hated it. Went by Candy as a little girl because that's what my grandma called me. Then hated that because I was teased because my name was Candy. So they had all kinds of candy jokes. Then became an entertainer and felt like I was just doomed to be used because people wanted my sexual energy no matter what I did, even when I tried to nerd it out. And I didn't know how to say no, so I felt like my beauty was a curse, and I started just like dimming my light myself, my own insecurities, okay? Rose above that though, and the industry actually, like, I needed that. I needed the darknesses I went to. It had to be that deep. Like, I have no regrets. No regrets. But the thought, like, I was just 250 coconuts, like, why are we talking about more infrastructure and more square boxes? We should be talking about planting. We've already destroyed the earth long enough. Now she needs to be nourished. But this, okay, so then that, like, that was the download for that. And then the cat. Our family has this cat. He's been with us. I've had him multiple times in this lifetime. And the painting up there, Bast came to me in a dream, the Egyptian goddess Bast, when I was pregnant with Bella. And I was going to abort her because I was in a fear state. I was in between, not a rock and a hard place, like literally a rock and a hard place. And sitting on a porch with my suitcase and my son, being yelled at by one person that I really did like want to start over with because I wanted to keep my baby. I didn't want to be in Oklahoma and I wanted to go to Florida. To get into a car in front of my kid, yelled at by another one. You're supposed to be rescuing me, but calling me selfish and irresponsible because I wanted to keep my baby. Yeah, like, it's been hard. But this cat, where am I going with that? Bast, I did not abort my daughter because she came to me in a dream, walking out of a pyramid, walking towards me. And when I Googled who she was the next day and found out she was the Egyptian goddess of fertility, I knew she was telling me not to get rid of that baby. sorry. I'm going to be vulnerable for a moment. I love my daughter. I do. I really do. And she is challenging. She tests my patience all the time. And I wanted to find out why I was being triggered too. And like why I was feeling angry when she's so needy. And I've done a damn good job. Damn good job not causing her any traumas that I know of yet. That I think, because you know, we think we know it all, right? But I'm very aware, and we talk it out. And anytime her feelings get hurt, we talk about it and we hug it out, and I let her talk and she lets me talk, and we have a really great relationship like that. And that's what I feel like the world needs, because that's like communication is the problem, and then triggers and wounds and traumas happen and we don't talk about it. And in some families, like, it's wrong to talk about it, or it's that's all part of the manipulation, and that's what's keeping us out of our hearts. And like, that's the problem. Our hearts are under attack since birth. Like, it's our heart, it's our energy, it's our love. Our energy is love. Like, that's what fuels solar energy. Yeah. So then I find out from my mom, talking to my mom, how my great grandmother, who I've been doing this generational curse breaking thing, like trying to break whatever's wrong with our lineage, that we all just keep having these shitty fucking lives. Seriously. Like, I'm not even gonna pretend. Why is it we have this beautiful house, inherited this beautiful fucking house on this land? Like, this could be gorgeous. Like, we could have a really great family life, you know? But it's like, it looks like a trailer park, because that's the way they treat it. And I've been raising my vibration and speaking my truth and triggering the fuck out of people, and shifts have happened, and I feel a lot of energy. I do, from everyone. But like, I'm in this space where I'm not going to raise my children in the toxicity I left the world, like, from these toxic people, to bring them to a safe space that's not a safe space, with all of those toxicities in the home I'm bringing them to. That's really how I lost my other 2 kids. You know? A safe space was all these traumas. And some of them go deep. You know what song makes me feel like my home? 21 Pilots, Heathens. You know, all my friends are heathens, take it slow. I think that's the lyrics. I am not a singer, guys. I'm not going to be one of those tarot readers on here singing songs, because I don't know. It wasn't the, you know, you always know I want to be this, like singing. I didn't want to be a singer. I would jump on my bed and sing. Like, yeah, my sisters and I would play shows. But yeah, it wasn't singing. Heathens. What are the lyrics? Why can't I think of the lyrics? But it's like, I'm gonna have to Google it. I can't think of it. Like, there's a psychopath sitting next to you, you know, like, you don't even know that you're sitting right next to the murderer. Like, that's literally like everybody in my life. I don't know who, like, first 48 could go any way. Like, I don't know. Crazy life. But, and it's just so normal for me. Like, so normal for me. I understand, like, I walk with Anubis. Like, literally, my name means Queen Mother, and it's an African. My origin, my name origin is African for Queen Mother. So this was what I've mastered this lifetime, to come into that energy. And I did lose children who, if I was in a 3rd dimensional mindset, could not understand. what shoes I've walked and how I'm living, why I'm living. Like, because they could not get me. Like, and I get that. I'm not for everybody. If you're not healing, you're on the other team. When you want to come on this team, the light, where love wins, you can't fake it. You can't fake it over here. So my boundaries are so damn strong, people can't even like access me. And I'm cool with that, because I only want to be in the energy of like energy, because after ascension, it's land, food, and skills. The land is ours. Is our land. That is our inheritance. Step aside right now while the towers fall, because they're falling. Babylon is falling. Like, I don't know. Where'd it go? Karma. This one, true offering takes what can be an unbearable cross and return it to love. But forgive yourself. Okay? Okay? So, the cat. This is a good intro. The black freaking cat. He's mid-midnight, who died in Grandma's closet, who we call that closet the portal, because animals go in and they don't come out. Came back as Prince, Panther Prince to be exact, who I inherited because my nephew's, he came on our doorstep, but he was left for my nephew. But I raised him, and my nephew's going through his dark nights, so Prince is in my care. And he just knows me and I know him, because he's also been Boots, and he's also been Kiki, my first cat that I remember. I remember this cat. I was 1 year old. How do I remember this cat? I don't know, but he used to go up into the bathroom and brush his teeth on the sink, and my parents left a toothbrush out that was his toothbrush. And I remember Kiki. My parents divorced when I was 3, so I had that memory between 1 and 3. That cat is in my freaking soul family. Anyways, he's back as Prince, and Prince disappeared for like 3 days. And I was looking for him, and then when he came home and he's laying on my bed, and I keep looking at his eyes, because his eyes are looking different, right? Like they don't look like Prince's eyes. And that was my first thought. Okay, I'm a Pisces rising, so I always go to the underworld first. And my thought is, what happened to Prince? The entities can't get in through the people because all my boundaries is up. So now Prince is like Skinwalker, shapeshifter kitty in my bed. No lie, okay? So I look deeper. I look into his eyes. I'm like, are you okay? And I see what I'm seeing in his eyes. It's pain. It's pain in his eyes. So I'm looking at him. And I'm like, are you okay? So I give him a body scan, and I notice his left paw is like double the size, or his wrist is double the size of his right wrist. So I go to touch it, and he moves. So like I'm petting him for a second, he's purring, and then he lets me touch it. And it's like, I think he has a broken wrist or something, and it's swollen, but he's walking on it, but like with like applying like a little bit of pressure. And I'm like, okay, that's why you didn't come home for 3 days, because you couldn't get home because it hurt. And anyways, yeah, so I had that thought with him and pulled this card as I was sitting here after I went to show my mom that Prince hurt his paw. But what was crazy to me was the eye thing. Like, this is a new thing that I've guessed, like, I've always been aware of different energies, and the eyes are the windows to the soul. But I feel like as I really practicing my practice and just really stepping into my divinity, as my gifts are heightening, transformation is happening in my reality. And I'm saying this because whoever you are in your reality, like, your gifts are, you're coming online, right? Because, like, this is the time, you know? There is major soul transformation happening now, and we are called to action. So whatever role you came here to play, like, you're being asked to step into that. And you won't know what that is until you've, like, done the healing. Like, go into the healing. So people who aren't going into the healing, like, you really have to step aside. Where'd it go? Step aside and let the towers fall, because it's not yours. And if it is yours, like, if you have your karma, you have to accept it and let it go and face it and heal it and own it and, like, do what you need to do, no matter how hard it is. Do it. Do it, do it, do it, do it. There it goes. Okay, because, I feel bad. I feel my heart feels the ones that just don't get it, you know? It does. But it's land, food, and skills. And when you start waking up, you start realizing what's food and what's not food. And you don't want to put what's not food into your system, because you're trying to be the best you. You know? Like, you're doing this. You're doing the thing. You're taking the steps. You don't have time for the bullshit. And the devil is a lie. Like, I cannot say I have completely only eaten alkaline, and, like, no, I keep slipping in awareness and observing it, and observing how I feel about it, and then asking myself, why did I do it? And then realizing I wasn't even conscious when I did it. I wasn't even conscious when I did it, which makes me know, go harder. Stay present. Stay present. Like, we're not perfect. We came here to learn. Okay? And you have to, like, forgive yourself. Seriously. Like, because you do mess up. You have messed up, and you will mess up. But it's about right action. You know? Right action. For you. What does this card say anyways? Let the wall fall that separates me from my own vulnerable inner child. I long to take care of myself like never before. That is a beautiful card. And you know what's so funny about this card? It actually looks like my baby daddy and my son Jacob. It does. And And he's on his healing path, but like I feel like he's got a lot of stuff of that, you know. And I'm not on here to talk about other people's stuff, but as Queen Mother to my special little boy, who is such a natural little boy, he loves the earth and the sticks and the rivers, and like, my boy needs to be in nature. He does. He needs to be in nature at this age right now. The cities are falling. He needs to be in nature, you know. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Everything is indeed out of control, and God will hold it all. I can safely let go. I can safely let go. Okay. Look, 250 coconuts, guys. Plants. If you, okay, listen, I'm going to extend this challenge because I took the challenge. And I started doing my research, and I have access to places that grow coconuts, so I can easily just gypsy myself down to the Keys and plant some coconuts, okay? Or hop on a plane to Puerto Rico. But I am waiting for passports, and there is travel happening in my reality, and that has been under attack too. People want me to just stay here in this house and just settle right here because it's safe and comfortable. That's not what my soul wants. I want that for my mom because she wants to be here. I would love to see her heal and be happy here. I would. I really would. But she has a lot of this. She has a lot of this. And this. And there was a message I had to deliver to her. And if I didn't deliver that message, my guides were going to smack me because it would be considered spiritual bypassing. You can't say you're ready for something and then not fulfill the task that's asked. You can't sleep on spirit. And a message came through. And so I'm going to share this because this is a message for all of you. Where is it? I put it in my burn jar. This is where I burn my declarations. And then I cleanse it with the sage. And this is my crow feather that me and Bella found. We want to get rid of any kind of energy or anything, or just you write it on paper and burn it. It's that simple. This cross was on a little plaque that I bought at Ross. The plaque said like faith, it's something about faith, right? And my idea of faith has been redefined. I used to think faith meant like faith in God, because he was up there in the sky looking down on me and like judging my every action. And if my action wasn't in line with my heart, then I was a bad girl. And therefore I would be punished and he wouldn't want me anymore. And I wasn't like his daughter anymore. Like, so I had to be good. And if I was good, I knew that God loved me. Right? That was the belief. And then I like realized or learned or remembered or understood or like come to find out, faith meant trusting myself to know what was right and to do what was right, because what was right, it lies within. I know what's right because I am what's right. It's in my heart. My heart doesn't lie. The devil is a lie, but the heart doesn't lie. The heart's been manipulated. When the heart becomes manipulated or hurt, it begins to put walls up. But in the center, in the core, the truth, that inner child, that pure innocent soul, pre-pain, pre-trauma, pre-life, that light that's always under attack. If you know, you know what I'm talking about. That childlike light, essence. The essence. It's all about the children, y'all. At the end of the day, it's all about the children. Hold on. All right, Bella came in and I completely lost my thought, but I do know that maybe I was supposed to lose my thought and Spirit said I said enough. And I overshare. I have learned on this path how not to overshare, because just because you're excited about it doesn't mean the person you're telling is excited about it, and you don't know what's in their heart. Their energy will tell you eventually. And as you get like more, you can have, yes, go. Close my door. Their energy will tell you, but it takes getting hurt a bunch of times to feel what getting hurt feels like, to know what energies are what, because we're born so pure and so much heart, so open, and it gets hit so hard, so fast. The dark energies that control this planet knew how to get, like, they know what they're doing, you know? So the battle has been real. But the light wins, and like, we already won. You're just playing it out right now, but you have to come into your heart. It is all about self-love. It's all about healing. And then comes the awakening, and then it's land, food, and skills. There's no one owning you. Sovereignty is what it's about. Peace. It's about peace. Being able to live your life in peace. Not indebted to anybody. Not paying any kind of tax or any kind of... There's no cycles and there's no bills, and all of that bullshit does not exist. It doesn't. And I come from a time, like, am I saying this online? I'm from how did the peace dealer say it in one of my astrological reports? I come from the future past, or the past future, I don't know. Like, I'm from the ancient future. And anyways, time is not linear, guys. We're multidimensional, and our souls have gone through so much. Okay, our souls have gone through so much that we're all spliced and diced with everything, you know. So the manipulation, land, food, and skills. This thing, faith. Faith has been redefined as my faith in God, which is the divine creator. Man awakened. God is man awakened. Like, my heart, that's where God is. And the download that came to me, it actually came a few months ago, and I've been sitting on this, and I just was like, you know, she's on her spiritual path. I'll let her find out on her own. You know, I'm not going to rock the boat. It's not my boat to rock. I got my own ascension path, you know. But it came through so many times, and it came in really hard driving in her truck. So, long story short, the tire's been fucked like forever. It started with brakes, and you know, my mom's on a rob Peter to pay Paul, is that the thing? Like, that's how it really has been since, you know, she did burn through a very nice inheritance, you know, and everyone in their in the family has their own say on, you know, how they feel about it, and she carries their projections. And it's so heavy, it's hard to walk. But like, she herself, as most of us do, like, this is what we came here to do. She has her own, you know, and I can't do it for her. So I felt like, you know, it's not my place to say what I'm feeling like I should say. And what I feel like I should say is, she's like, so our family has a huge history with the Catholic Church. I never felt comfortable going to church, so I wouldn't go. My grandma did read the Bible to me, and we were born Catholic. My mother got married, baptized as a Christian, but church wasn't super forced on me. But when they did want me to go, like, I felt like I didn't fit in. Like, I don't know. Here I am, like, talking God all the time to y'all now, but transformation, okay? Like, God and religion are not the same thing. And so, like, my uncle, whose house this is, story time with the priestess, my uncle whose house this is, died of liver cancer from alcohol and food abuse and grief and guilt and hidden things, but he wanted to be a Catholic priest. He went to the priesthood, but he was molested by his priest. And that secret, which turned him gay, by the way, and he was closet gay, but he had a boyfriend, but it was a very abusive, narcissistic relationship. Can you see it already? Like, guys, the fucking shit I'm carrying generationally that I came here to not be, okay? But it flows through the family. But died of liver disease, left the house to grandma, who was living with him, but like, he hated her living here because she yelled at the dogs and she was so negative. Her name was Nancy. Negative Nancy. Like, the story is, my Truman show is funny, okay? Negative Nancy was like, she was just so negative, and she made Teddy miserable. And when he died, she found one of his sobriety, like, AA letters, and he said all the things that he hated about his mother in his self-forgiveness paper. And being me, I felt her pain and grief and regret and self-hatred. But like, it goes back to my great-grandmother. Oh, this full circles back to Bella and my patients, guys. My grandmother was raised by my great-grandmother, who resented her, wanted to have an abortion, didn't want to have a child, and felt like my grandma ruined her life. So like, my grandma grew up like, there's no self-love with that, you know? Therefore, I had very abusive, narcissistic, like, asshole relationships, physical abuse, alcohol, weight, food addiction, died, lack of self-love. You know? Pledged allegiance to the Catholic Church, paid her tithes every time she went to mass, wrote the checks, brought them donuts. She had faith. And now she's in a box, and the ants are eating her, and her soul is crying, and she wants me to break it. Sorry guys, like that went deep for me because her pain is deep, guys. And she's angry. She's angry at the lack of self-love and the lack of true love and she's angry at the curses. She's angry at the curses. Oh my god, here I am crying on camera. You know, funny story, back to childhood, and we all have our own childhood trauma, and guys, you have to heal it. You have to go back and remember who you were and what happened. Reparent too, and you have to reparent yourself, okay? But I was shy to cry. I don't know why. I would be like, if I felt an emotion, I would close it off and I wouldn't cry in front of people, and I got really good at closing my throat off. And like the lump in my throat, it became easier and easier and easier and easier to just, instead of cry. And then when I grew up and learned that, oh my god, that was like some serious high level self-abuse at such a young age. Wow, no wonder I can like take it. My pain tolerance. Anyways, wow. Whew, guys. What is this card? Divine love. When you offer everything to the divine with detachment, you begin a love affair with spirits. I like this card. It was on the top of the deck, but I felt it wanted to say hi. We're gonna burn for a little bit because Grandma came in here and did what she does. The reason I suppressed my emotions so much because my emotions are my strength. And that's why my emotions were always under attack, and I always had narcissistic type of people in my life, because what do? They attack your emotions, and then they make you feel like there's something wrong with your emotions, and then you start to hate yourself. Yeah. This thing, I was driving in my mom's truck, which has had so much freaking problems, and the tire literally got fixed the day before I was supposed to go pick up Jacob. I had faith that I was gonna have a ride, even if I had to rent another damn car. I was gonna get there. So but it like, the spare is on it, but it's not a donut, it's a full tire, but the tire is bigger than the other 3 tires, and then it started making this noise, which I found out is because the rotor is rusty, because she changed the one rotor, but the other one just has new brake pads. Anyways, robbing Peter to pay Paul, right? Like survival mode. Survival mode. Yes, I could have completely fixed all of her tires and brakes instead of taking a rental car and taking my trip, and probably have been perceived as selfish by some people. And everyone has their feelings, and I really don't care, because I need to do what I needed to do, and for 9 months I took care of all of them. And I'm just was picking up piss and picking up shit and washing dishes and feeding people and still exposing my kids to toxic environments while I clean up the mess and allow the abuse to happen. And when I do step in, say something about the abuse, become attacked myself, and now have my children scared because they think something's going to happen to mom. because not everybody can control their demons. And I call out their demons and I get mocked and ridiculed. Demons are dark energies. If they're in control, you're not in control. Therefore, you are possessed. Straight facts. My truth. Ace of Swords. Like it or not. If it doesn't resonate, have a new reality. Step into your own reality. So the message that had to come through to my mother, she's laying in bed, in this bed. She spends a lot of her time in this bed because she's in a lot of pain. And you have to rest to recover. You do. You have to rest to recover. And she's been living in this battlefield because, like, it's a mess. It's a mess of her own karma, though, and she knows it. And what she didn't know, I definitely brought to her face and brought to her attention in a loving manner, because she knows that I'm only speaking from my heart. I am, because at the end of the day, I want everybody to heal. The more people that come into their hearts, the beautiful it's gonna be. Okay, like, I am here for the ascension. Okay, but I'm not naive to the dark. The darkness is very, 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 very much part of this process. Okay, but where did it go? I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you and thank you. Okay? The message. Why do I keep distracting from the message? The message that I had to deliver to my mom is she's in all this pain. And there's all this bondage. Like, there's all this bondage, you know? Like, she has to break a whole lot of her own curses for her reality to change. Like, she blew through the money doing things that she thought would help everybody and everything, but she's got a lot of broken stuff and a lot of broken stuff, you know, like just a lot of material broken things. When you're not responsible with your energy, and money is energy, money is currency, like you're not responsible with your energy, you know, in all ways, it affects all things. Like, there is no separation. You have to be present with your thoughts, with what's in your heart, with what's in your mind. Any negativity towards self or towards others has to be transmuted, alchemized, purified, cleansed. You have to do the work, and you have to find out why you feel that way. And when you start doing that work, you start treating yourself better. Like, there's things you just don't eat anymore. There's places you just don't go anymore. There's habits that they don't resonate anymore. And there's people, places, and things that your soul will tell you can't come with you if you really want to, like, walk through your next gates, your next door, if you want the keys to your next life. Because your next life is health. And health is wealth. If your next life is health, anything that's not healthy can't go to health. So you start the letting go. Right? And me coming into this new understanding of faith and being in this place in my path where my relationship with God has changed. I know God. I know self. I have established peace. Mission completion. Now it's spread the mission. Now I know my mission. I have transcended from one phase into a next phase. So the mission at that moment was deliver that message. So I told her, Mom, this is what's, and she knows where I'm at right now. And I don't even know how much of what I say she believes, because I don't care to know. I'm just the messenger and I'm on my path. And she knows that's where I'm at. So like sometimes she's looking at me like she's just listening to me, and other times she's looking at me and I feel like she's hearing me. And either way, it's like I'm just the messenger. Just the messenger. Right? Just the messenger. And we all have our soul knows like how long we're going to be here if we want to put it in time. Like you have to make the best of the earth time that you're on this contract for. And like, so my goal is to make the best of my time. That's how I spend my day. I wake up, I sit and I do my morning ritual, and I like to sit by the window and I like to listen to the birds in the morning, and I like to rise at my own time. It is my grand rising. I like to rise at my own time, and sometimes I'll check my phone because I feel like seeing what messages came through, and other times I won't turn my phone on, and it's very random each day. But in the morning it is my ritual. Like that time is for me, however I prefer to spend it in that moment. And I ask myself, what do I want to create today? What am I feeling today? And I'll stay in the flow. Where is that card? Divine flow. That's been my practice. And it's challenge. I find people always trying to like ask you, do you want to do something at a certain time? Like people try to commit you into some kind of a calendar, some kind of like when you're trying to stay in flow. And that like that's gonna come up. Like no matter, it's gonna come up, because like as soon as they got you on a calendar, now you're in time, in matrix, right? Like, so stay in divine flow, okay? And just practice self-love. Be present. What do I need right now? What does my heart need right now? What does my soul need right now? And it's gonna guide you to the sun. You're gonna be you're like sitting under a palm tree, drinking a coconut in the sun. Peace. Like my Audrey. This painting it's peace. I was channeling Audrey Hepburn at the time. She was popping up in my energy all the time. Peace was a very prominent energy I was fighting for. Like I was at war for my peace, and I was seeing doves everywhere. And I was living where the palm trees were, so And actually, there was it started with a pyramid behind her, but when I start painting, my paintings change. They do. They morph. Like what I start with and what I end with, never the same thing. Never the same thing. They're a journey. They are a journey. So I don't have like a ton of paintings, because sometimes I'll spend a couple months on one. I will. And I have a bunch of unfinished paintings that I may never paint. Maybe one day I'll paint. Maybe they're just not supposed to be finished because I'm not on that timeline. It's all in divine flow. This message to my mother was, oh my God, I literally just got choked up trying to deliver that. Next card says, ask for guidance, and then you are never alone. I can't make this up once you know thyself, okay? Okay. So I told her, Okay, so remember the whole history of the Catholic Church, right? My mom was raised in the church, you know. Grandma died for the church. Teddy, church, inherited this house. You know, there are deep roots with those entities. Deep roots with those entities. Allegiance. Deep alliances. Deep alliances. To this. And what do they do? This thing that I don't even like to do. Because if you think about it, the third eye, the heart, you're taking that cord and severing the tie. Bondage, right? And in that sacrifice, what did they do to him? Nailing him to the cross, bondage, nailed and bound. You are severing your tie and pledging allegiance to the very thing that has you bound. And then they took your prophet, your Messiah, the man who came here, the God who came here and incarnated in human form, named Jesus, named Yeshua. Heart consciousness, Christ consciousness, God is man awakened. And he told you, all of you, because we've done been reincarnated. We were there. I was there. We were there. And he said, this is the way into your heart. You are God. Love yourself, you know. He taught all that stuff. Everybody turned against him. They sacrificed him, and then they made him the poster child for their agenda. For their agenda. And then you all ask. And they gave him a face. They gave him a pretty little face, because that man that you see, that picture, that pretty little boy, is not Jesus. That's not even what he looked like. That's what they want you to think he looks like. But you're gonna, you pray for your salvation. Disempower yourself. Give your power away to stay bound. To stay bound. In Jesus' name. So I told my mom, who sleeps with a Jesus on a crucifix behind her head and a picture of Jesus at her feet, that is her bondage. And when she's ready to take those off the wall is when her path to healing begins. And I explained the sever the tie to her. And I said, this is the message that's meant to come through. If I don't deliver the message, I'm not ready to step into the path I've chosen to step into to answer my call. She said, wow. I said, yeah, that's the message. Don't shoot the messenger. And I walked out the room and I let her process. Don't shoot the messenger. The message has been delivered. But like, this is your bondage. This is not your salvation. If you want to be free, call your power back and see this for what it is. Witchcraft. It's witchcraft. Call your power back. Eternity is far more creative than the rigid, constrained, and exhausted ego. Expansiveness and limitless. Sky take that in. See yourself open to receive in the most miraculous ways. The divine can use anything and anyone. Okay, guys, that is the message for today. I am putting this cross back in my burn jar because I'm saging. Deepening, guys, deepening. What did this say again? Once you're on earth for enough lifetimes, your old soul will begin to long for non-grasping, detachment, and surrender. They bring the peace of God. The peace of God, guys. Basset. Fertility, the divine feminine, the mother, the child, the love. Okay, has to happen. Stop thinking about death. Go into your hearts. Go into your hearts and make every day count. I have this card. I forgot to pull this one. Kindness counts. In my own notes right here from something the other reader was saying, there's a difference between being kind and being nice. Nice people kiss ass. Kind people have compassion. But that's a thought to think about, okay? There's a difference between being kind and being nice. Be kind with yourself. Don't just be nice to yourself. Be kind with yourself. Ask yourself when you sit up in the morning, in your morning ritual, connect with the sun. Connect with the sun in the morning. Gaze at the sun. Go into your heart and ask your heart, what do you want? Ask your heart what it wants. And then look into the sun. Yeah. Look into the sun. Okay? And if you know, you know. I just gave you the keys, okay? So, with that, have a blessed and beautiful reality. I love you guys. Love wins. Love wins.